Watch Night. The first watch night was held by slaves on December 31st, 1862, waiting on the fulfillment of the Emancipation Proclamation. Many enslaved and free African Americans gathered on Watch Night, also called Freedom's Eve, to celebrate the Emancipation Proclamation, which would take effect on January 1st, 1863. They probably gathered in secret because in many slave states it was against the law for more than 5 slaves to assemble together off of the plantation. President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation on September 22, 1862. He previously was going to issue it in July, but he was waiting until a Union victory in the Civil War. The proclamation was issued after the Battle of Antietam. Although it was issued in September, it did not go into effect immediately. At one time, it was said that he was allowing Southern farmers time to gather their crops. Now they are saying that wasn't logical, but we are living in such a different time of life where we are not dependent on farming as much as they were at that time. Regardless the reasoning, the proclamation didn't take effect until January 1st, 1863, and he signed the Emancipation Proclamation on that date. Emancipation Proclamation. That on the first day of January, in the year of our Lord, 1863, all persons held as slaves within any state or designated part of a state, the people whereof shall then be in rebellion against the United States, shall be then, thenceforward, and forever free. The distinction of states or parts of states in rebellion against the United States meant the Confederate States or areas aligning with the Confederacy. This palm-sized copy of the Emancipation Proclamation was created and issued to Union Army soldiers in 1862. They carried the pamphlet and read aloud the content, declaring freedom for Black people enslaved in the rebelling states. The executive order enabled African Americans to secure freedom at the Union Army lines and allowed Black men to enlist and fight for freedom. By the end of the war, almost 200,000 Black soldiers and sailors had fought for the Union and freedom. But there were areas that were aligned with the Union, the North, that still had slavery as a way of life. The 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution that freed all of the slaves was passed on January 31st, 1865. Although President Lincoln wasn't required to, he signed the 13th Amendment on February 1st, 1865. As we sit on the edge of the upcoming year, let us think back to the joy that our ancestors had on that first watch night as they waited for their freedom. Let us not look back with shame, but with the same pride for how far we have come from that night. They couldn't have imagined that we as a people would have accomplished as much as we have today. Let us continue to make our ancestors proud. Happy New Year from Black Heritage Hub.